Hello, this is Nitin Dahad, and I'm here with Robert Huntley, who's a correspondent for EE Times. Robert, hello.
Hello, Nitin.
We are here at the Hardware Pioneers Max 2024 conference in London, and we spent a day going and talking to people around the show, the conference, and seeing what's what. I mean, first of all, it's been good to see a UK electronics show. We haven't seen something of this scale for a long time. If you look over there, it's packed, and it has been all day.
Yeah, I agree. And also in this new venue, compared to previous years, there's a lot more space. There seems to be more open in many ways, and I certainly think there's more delegates here.
Yeah, I think I've heard over 1,200 or something like that. But one thing I think that it sort of demonstrates what the UK, like when you go to a show in Germany, it's all industrial automation or automotive. Here, it's been very much IoT, and some of the people that I've spoken to, and I think we've both spoken to lots of companies doing stuff in IoT, whether it's systems on modules, whether it's the antennas, or it's the connectivity, via things like Bluetooth.
Yes.
So, what do you think?
Absolutely, I agree, and I think in many ways that there's this is kind of a mini version of embedded world, because the whole gambit, the whole ecosystem of electronics and embedded design is here, and you can see everything from semiconductor vendors, the distributors, electronic design companies. So there's a whole variety of applications. But the good thing is also there's innovation here. So there's a number of companies which I've talked to that are truly innovators in what they're actually doing.
Okay, so I mean, I know you're going to be writing about it for our magazines, but just tell us maybe what sort of caught your eye, what you wanted to really highlight.
So one of them was AntennaWare, and they've got a surface body wave way of using an antenna, which they say gives a path budget improvement of 10 to 20 dBs, which is significant for applications like in healthcare, medical, sports fests, those sorts of things.
I mean, one of the things I saw was on the IoT side. Obviously, I think you also spoke to them, Bleakon, which is basically the co-founders are ex-ARM, AWS and Microsoft, and they're putting all this experience together. And I did a separate video interview, and I think you're going to do a write-up. But just how they're using Bluetooth Low Energy to provide that IoT connectivity and providing that managed service.
Yeah, absolutely. I spoke to Simon Ford as well, so I'll be doing a write-up of that. I think the interesting thing is that they're bringing Bluetooth Low Energy to kind of an application which no one has ever really thought of before. So the concept of Bluetooth to the cloud connectivity is a good one, and it shows actually the continued evolution of Bluetooth Low Energy for an increasing number of applications.
And the other one I think I spoke to quite in some depth was microchip, and they were talking about the wired connectivity being a key thing, like Ethernet and the PCIe.
Yeah.
But it was quite interesting how they're seeing a very strong growth in what they're doing in the industrial sector. I mean, that was quite impressive. I don't know if you spoke to anybody around there.
No, I didn't. Not yet, anyway. But I think the other aspect of it is around compliance and the regulatory domain, where there's an increasing number of exhibitors talking about the Cyber Resilience Act and bringing those kind of need for compliance to the industry, which is increasing all the time. So I think it's good to have that focus on the security aspect as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are quite a few companies here. I mean, I saw PQ Shield, Crypto Quantique, and various others. But I think the CRA, we've had some sessions there at the conference as well. And I did a podcast as well recently in Embedded Edge. It's real. It's happening. It's becoming mandatory. So, although it's European, it's actually anybody who's supplying into Europe. So I think that's quite key as well.
Yes. No, I agree. And I think from the engineering design aspect, when you look at it, there's an increasing amount of effort that design engineers have to be aware of. The design for manufacturability, power budgets, and add to that conformance, certification, compliance. The electronics engineer certainly has to be masters of many different fields today.
And I mean, aside from the electronics, the other thing when you go to any of these shows is, I talk to a lot of the business people, there's the executives, and I had quite long conversations with people like Charles Sturman of TechWorks.
Yes.
and around some of the initiatives. Obviously, we've got general election in the UK, and what's going to happen to all the sort of policies and things that are going to happen for semiconductors in the UK. So I had some very interesting conversations there as well. Obviously, a lot of it is sort of steeped around who's going to be in power after July the 4th.
Absolutely. I actually on that news, I talked to one product design company called i4, and it's a Scottish company, and they work quite a bit with the Scottish innovation boards and investors, and it's quite interesting that they said that actually the fact that their companies are coming to them with designs which have actually been validated by the investors and the innovation boards was actually a positive thing. That it gave them a feeling that actually someone has thought through this idea and they've had it validated, rather than just embarking on a project which the market is unknown.
Okay, I mean, closing thoughts. We don't want to make this too long for our viewers, but what are your closing feelings and thoughts on this, on what you've said? What sort of really stuck in your mind?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's the move to this larger venue is much better. It's more open. We've got the whole gambit of the ecosystem. So I think it's really worked, and every supplier that I've talked to, every exhibitor that I've talked to, has been very positive about the way the show is shaped up.
I mean, my closing thought is IoT and geopolitics. I think those are the key conversations I've had today.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I would agree, and long may it continue.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.